You won't believe. I went to this swanky restaurant tonight with Mike. Yeah, the tech art guy. Get this, they had a special menu just for the night, and the chef explained the dishes to us, artistically plated food and all. Makes dining a whole different experience, right? Now, interesting part. Mike was going on about these smart cameras that use AI for image enhancement. Kid you not, I was actually quite smitten by his knowledge. I mean, when do you come across someone who shares your passion for tech and art? Strangely, it was like one of those tech-sprinkled romance moments from a movie. Anyway, remember Lucas from Picture Perfect? They've just partnered with Adobe. Gonna cause quite some ripples in the design industry, I bet. Our dear Carlos has been hitting it big in his online chess games, too. He's promised to teach me sometime. Imagine me playing chess. Quite a laugh that will be. And Emily, guess what? She's now giving out her trifle recipe. Now, let's take a moment to imagine chess with Carlos and Emily's trifle on a weekend. That's one peculiar Saturday I am picturing. Bursting with creativity and logic with a flavorful mix of Emily's trifle. Sounds interesting, right? Oh, and these recent dating adventures are making me take a closer look at my love life. It's like, apart from the job and the regular run, there is all this adventure waiting for me. Funny how this entire exploration of the dating world makes you understand yourself a lot better. I can say my perspective is evolving, you know? Not just about the kind of people I want to date, but also about me as an individual. But listen, enough of my chatter. You tell me, what's been happening at your end? Been a while since we caught up. I'm all ears. I've just knocked out a webinar today, tossed together all those thoughts about digital creativity that have been bobbing around in my head. You know, I really feel on a roll lately with all these creative bouts happening in my life. Essentially, I got to chat about the intersection of AI and photography, which is pretty much the core of what we're trying to accomplish at Click AI, right? Now, when I say chat, I don't mean a casual coffee shop tete-a-tete. This was more like stream of consciousness word marathon. Me, gushing about tech and art to my heart's content, in front of a screen, hoping that the audience on the other side was finding it as thrilling as I was. Remember Sophia from the co-work space? We've been bouncing off ideas about a potential collaboration. Not bad, eh? She's got this edgy fashion photography thing going on that I think our tech could really bring out in fascinating ways. And Emma, that gal has an eye for design unlike anyone else I know. Between the two of them, I think we might put together something epic. Postures perked up when I shared the webinar idea in the chat group earlier. Carlos was like, "Did you talk about linking AI with photography?" You could almost hear the cogs turning in his numbers-geared brain. He's probably already cooking up a data model in his head related to it. Now, there's an invigorating thought. Carlos needs to take a bit of time out from saving data universes single-handedly. And Lucas, our resident cheerleader, is already stoked about this art-tech marriage. Emily, bless her, she just oozes that vibrant art enthusiast vibe, doesn't she? Her design sensibilities are through the roof, and I love how she's got her backing, even if she is always heads deep in those latest design trends. Before I forget, you remember Mike? The tech art guy? Funny coincidence. He was the first person that popped into my mind when the idea of this webinar struck me. Something about his profound blend of enthusiasm and expertise, you know. Speaking of, this wild blending of worlds is reminding me of Emily's trifle recipe. Hear me out. It's like how she throws in all these unique flavors and they weave together to create something unexpectedly fantastic. It's like that with art and tech. Different ingredients, but when you mix them right, voila, you got yourself a masterpiece. As for me, now, my guitar's been eyeing me from that lonely corner. Time to strum some tunes and let these thoughts marinate. I'm thinking something soft and mellow, you know, something like a warm hug after a long day. That's the way these little brainstorming sessions leave me. Warm, fuzzy, and filled with a sense of endless possibilities swirling around. Ha! I sound like some dreamy-eyed artist. Oh, and do me a favor. If you stumble upon any ideas about this digital art tech crossover, hit me up. I'd love to hear your take. So did I share with you my latest culinary experiment? Yeah, I decided to try my hand at making an authentic margarita pizza today. Now don't laugh, okay? I'm a total newbie in the kitchen, so this was like a major adventure in uncharted territory. But hey, you know what they say about trying new things and expanding your comfort zone, right? Anyway, let me tell you, it turned out pretty decent. I'm not going to compete with an Italian nonna anytime soon. But for a first-timer, I'd say not too shabby, huh? The guys showered me with praises in the chat today. I must say, Lucas's cheerleading is contagious. Carlos is plotting to join me for a pizza party. The dude's everywhere. And Emily, she's a darling, wanted a slice too. Speaking of Emily, remind me to get that trifle recipe from her. Anyhow, after that kitchen saga, I ended up spending the afternoon with a pretty good book I stumbled upon, The Art of Noticing. Let me tell you something. It's a fantastic read. Very thought-provoking and forced me to look at our everyday world in an entirely different way, like seeing the same scenes through a new lens. Told the group about it, and guess what? We're all geeking out over our current reads. Pretty cool, ain't it? By the way, Carlos just recommended a book called Predictably Irrational. Said something about fascinating insights into human behavior, and you know what that means, right? No more playing guessing games with Carlos's next chess move. Lucas and Emily are on about their own books. I'm just glad I've got more options to add to my reading list now. And guess what else we talked about? The new Wes Anderson film. I personally can't wait. His movies are always a trip to a different world altogether, don't you think? Carlos seems more into Fincher, but still acknowledges the aesthetics Anderson brings to the table. And Emily, as usual, is over the moon, already excited about the film. Talk about cinema lovers. Now, I gotta tune down this energy and feed my guitar some of it. It's been eyeing me for a while now from that corner, looking all lonely. I'm thinking of strumming a new melody, maybe something that reflects this roller coaster of a day. Plus, I think my guitar will be the best listener to my cooking adventures, don't you think? It's always good to wind down with some good music after a day filled with new experiences.